Solo and Soul with Finesse. Solo and Soul with Finesse. Solo and Soul with Finesse. Solo and Soul with Finesse.
Hey, keeping your soul connected. You know how we do. It's your man, Finesse, and welcome to another edition of Soul on Soul with Finesse. And today's show is going to be special because I had this guest on here before, and I told him as much as he wants to come on again and again because he's got so much, I said, you ain't coming on again until you get an EP or an album. That's how we going to do. I ain't going to have you teasing me and teasing the audience with one record. Stop it. So guess what? Ladies and gentlemen, my man today has an EP or a project coming out full, but we're going to talk to him about it. Plus, I got to talk to him about some other things I've talked to with some other main celebrities, some of our heroes in the business. I want to get Saint Jaimz information, his thoughts on that. So, of course, my special guest is Saint Jaimz, all the way from the left side. What's going on, good brother? How are you today?
What's up, bro? Long time. What's up, man?
It's been a good time and a long time, man. I'm such a fan of you and your movement. As one of the independent artists that I follow constantly, you always have something to say or something to share. So before we get into the interview, do me a favor and give everybody your social media and your website so they can follow you.
Okay, my official website is saintjaimz.com. That's SAINTJAIMZ.com for all things R&B. You can find me on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. LinkedIn even under Saint Jaimz, SAINTJAIMZ. Let's get it, baby.
All right, so gonna get right into it because I know you are somebody who's got a thought on this. I had a chance to interview Gerald Alston of the Manhattans.
Okay.
One of the things he said to me was that today's R&B music and soul music is missing the element of love. And I was shocked to hear them say that because I know personally, I think, they're only talking about sex. And it's nice to hear one of our leaders in this business, someone who's been around for a long time, express his concerns when it comes to R&B and soul music. So I consider you one of them ones that's, keep it real. Keep it real. Is Gerald Alston right? Can we change this?
Well, I think he's absolutely spot on with the love element because I think it's not popular in today's culture to be vulnerable and expressive and expose yourself without being called a simp or weak or soft. It's just a ridiculous notion, man. Coming from maybe these kids can be okay with that and navigate through their early existence with that kind of mentality, but people my age, I'm 55 almost, bro. So I'm double nickel. So my attitude is, I grew up in a time where my mom. I was probably made off of this music, off of love records and songs that allow a man to expose. And a lot of men were out there trying to meet the woman of their soulmate, the woman of their dreams, so to speak. So they were singing records, making records that almost sounded like they were begging, but it was a part of rhythm and blues, man. That's the thing about rhythm and blues. You got to think about, keep it simple, man. It's called rhythm and blues for a reason. The rhythm is the beat and the blues is the story. So if you don't have a really quality production and you're not telling the story, it's not really R&B. So I'm not sure what they're talking about these days, this younger generation. And that's on them to have that style of music and type of message. But he's absolutely right. Rhythm and blues, as we know it, is missing the element of vulnerability. A lot of guys aren't singing songs that make them look vulnerable to the desires or expectations of females. And then sometimes you got to think about the women that are out there today and how they're expressing themselves. I mean, they're more twerkers. You see Instagram. I can't scroll down Instagram without seeing somebody's butt twerking on the internet, and it's just gotten to a place where is that what women want? Is that how women want to be talked to? Is that how women want to be communicated with? But we already know with the hashtag Me Too movement, putting a lot of brothers like R. Kelly out of business, and he's the king of R&B. What chance in hell do a guy like me or other R&B singers got if we can't talk, we can't be expressive in our music? So it's so much to it, man. But that's the long version for me. yes, I think guys need to get back to, if they really feeling a woman or feeling, but R&B doesn't always have to be about relationships either. Our Marvin Gaye wrote about a lot of records that were quality, solid records that had nothing to do with a woman. You know what I mean? So I guess it's pick your poison these days.
All right. Talking to Saint Jaimz on this edition of Soul on Soul with Finesse. You know how we do, keeping you soul connected. And since Saint Jaimz gave us his social media, let me give you ours. Soul on Soul with Finesse. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Always follow us. And if you want to be a guest on the show or you want to send us music, soulonsoulwithfinesse@gmail.com. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, finesse is spelled with a PH. Why? Because I'm the professor of soul. Anyway, getting back to my special guest, Mr. Saint Jaimz, let me ask you this other question too, because it's a topic among R&B singers about who's the best. To me, I never looked at it that way. I always looked at every singer as being different. I never thought of anyone being the best. I can't imagine artists are really sitting back saying that they're the best or better than someone else, because everybody's message may affect them differently. And I was recently on a call where these old school producers, some of the old school DJs, and some people wanted to have this conversation, but they were forgetting people. I said, what about Joe? What about Eric Benet? What about Babyface? I just can't see how you name one individual as being the king of R&B. Sales-wise and writing-wise, yes, not Robert Kelly, I'm sorry, let me get this right. R. Kelly is simply the best. It's Robert Kelly, the pedophile person that I don't like. So those are two different things. But what are your thoughts on that when it comes to who is the king or queen of R&B?
Well, I think that's not something you can say about yourself. So let's start there. If you're saying it about yourself, then you're missing the point. You can be dubbed the king or the queen of soul or hip hop, soul, R&B, and all that stuff if people do it for you. But what you cannot do, you would never see me get on any live or any interview beating my chest. I will never do it. It's not what I do. I will always hold my head up with dignity and confidence, because you can't be in this business and be all weak and docile either. So it's a really thin line between arrogance and confidence. So people got to pick which side of that line they want to be on. Some people can call you arrogant no matter what you say or do, and some people can call you weak if you don't speak up. So it's a cultural thing. I think it's our people consistently as Black people, we have been predisposed to self-hatred and projection. So our natural tendency is to not even, before we even hear the brother's record, we automatically turn our nose up and looking for something wrong with it, listening for something to not be right. Oh, he should have done it here, he should have done it. So I tend to kind of just focus on being positive about it. But at the same time, we know a hit record when we hear a damn hit record. So if you're going to deny, or if you're going to disrespect another brother because his record's solid, it's solid, but you just wish you had thought of that idea first, then you're a hater. So I just think that, there's no way you can really narrow that down, man. There's so many legends, man, that paved the way for a guy like me to be able to do this on a shoestring budget. I do music because I love it, because it ain't paying worth a damn. I'm being and keeping. We can talk about that too. But if you're doing R&B music or any music in America right now in the music industry, and you're doing it for a payday outside of hip hop and rap, you're probably not doing it for the right reasons, because there's just no financial stability in it any longer. And being honest with you, man, I'm at a point now where I got to make a decision if I'm going to continue to do music, because I just get to a place where I cannot continue to afford to fork out thousands of dollars every quarter, man, and get nothing back from the streaming platforms to even merchandise, man. It's just people don't want to pay for music no more. But you don't go into a barbershop and get a haircut and thank the barber and don't pay him.
Right. That's true. That's very true. Saint Jaimz, Soul on Soul with Finesse. That's my special guest today. We have to take a break. But when we come back, Saint Jaimz gave me some more questions, something I didn't think about asking him. Well, we're going to talk about the state of Black music and support. So don't go anywhere. Soul on Soul with your man Finesse and Saint Jaimz. We'll be right back. Welcome back, Soul on Soul with Finesse. Saint Jaimz, my special guest. And before the break, Saint Jaimz was talking about maybe leaving the business because it's not making any money. But Saint, let me ask you something, because you are talented. I know we play your music. Your music is getting a buzz. I know COVID really hurt a lot of artists, and especially Black artists, because shows make the money. What is the status since we're coming out of the COVID? What's the plans for you? Are you gonna travel, do shows? What are you gonna do to be seen, be heard, and hopefully make money?
Well, I got the business model needs to be revised, or at least introduced, because it's just a big deal. I mean, it's a big problem right now. You used to you go in the studio, you spend $1,000, make this project, and then you come out, and then you used to have some kind of product, some tangible product, to a merchandise or something to sell, to put out, and then you recoup some level of your money that way as an independent artist was speaking. Now, mainstream artists, they got record deals, they get contracts, they have probably a cash advance or some kind of money coming their way, plus a stipend or something they're living off of, or ultimately royalty checks coming in, because the label at least ensured that even if they were getting the best of the artists in terms of the higher percentage, the artist was getting something. So they had something coming in. But as an independent artist, you're limited to what you can make if people are not willing to buy your product, support your brand, or do anything for you. So what I plan on doing ultimately, man, is just focusing on my merchandise will consist of T-shirts, a USB credit card drive, which is like, is ridiculous, man. The concept, I ain't seen nobody doing. I'm like, what are we doing? So people still want to buy CDs, but most new cars don't come with CD players. They come with USB inputs. So I got USB credit cards with my artwork on it, and put the songs of my new current EP, the R&B Remedy is about to drop. I will be selling, USB credit cards, T-shirts, and autographed copies, framed copies of the album, cover art, and keeping it simple, keep it clean. Mouse pads, coffee mugs, all that stuff can get a little bit messy and just a lot of inventory. You don't want a bunch of stuff sitting around your house that ain't moving. So you got to be very predictable about calculated about how you get your merchandise and keep your product or whatnot. So that's my goal. But ultimately, man, in the end of the day, if this industry doesn't change the way the business model of how artists get paid, no one's going to make money, man. It's not and stick around and do it. So people want all these great records and all this beautiful music. DJs want to keep spinning all these records. But hell, the DJs don't even want to buy it, don't even want to support the artist and download the single. Like if I send all my records out for free, because I already know if I ask people to download it or get it, buy it, they're not going to do it. They won't even play your record. Oh, I got to buy it. That's how I eat. You think I'm going to keep making these hot records for free? So I got a lot of opinions about that, man, but I'm just focusing on what I can control right now. And that's just continue to put out the records I already got in my vault. Once that's done, man, then I may have to make an executive decision on my future with this whole game. I ain't got nothing else to prove, man. 76 million Spotify streams, organic, in less than 2 years, and just all kinds of awards and independent accolades and all of that stuff, man. I got nothing to prove. But again, if I cannot afford to make these records, man, I cannot continue to put them out. And that's just, and I'm not alone as an artist. A lot of people out here struggling. Then you got to think about all that. You just mentioned COVID. COVID was what it was at the time, but look at it now. No one's wearing masks. The pandemic is over. Even the president said it. So what's going on is people, I'm watching my brothers and sisters out there in rhythm and blues, man, struggle on the stage. They aren't sounding good. The quality of the shows are not really solid. It's just a lot. It's messy, man. I'm not about to go out there and labor to not be respected. You remember back in the day when you go to a concert, people would clap when the artist was singing, when the artist finished singing their song outside of a few whistles and screams and claps and stuff. But most people would wait till the artist is finished with the song to applaud and show love. You go to a concert these days, these cats are yelling and screaming and singing and louder than the artist on the stage. They're not paying attention to the artist that they came out and spent the hard money to watch. And that's disrespectful to the craft, man. When the artists, get out there and bust their butt singing for you and you're not even listening. So I see a lot of unnecessary crap going on for me. So I'm one of them artists. I had a whole concert shut down and be quiet if I'm gonna sing. That's just where I'm at. You didn't do that with the Temptations. You didn't do that with Smokey Robinson. You didn't do that with the, with Levert and them. you shut your damn mouth and listen to them sing, and then you clap when they was done with the record, even if they was wearing it out.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I want to touch on you when you're talking about the USB car, that when I was managing artists, it took me forever to look into digital downloads. Cause I was like, look, you can sell a digital download along with a T-shirt, and you're making money that way. They didn't see it as that because, as you said, they were still stuck on that old model of trying to move product. But you got to be creative in how you do things, because it has changed, and to some degree, you're right. The business model has to change. And I want to ask you your thoughts on. I see hip hop artists are now starting to understand we gotta be on tour with somebody to make money, and they don't have to be anybody big to control the tour, but you have to find other people that you like, or you can say, hey, we can go make some money. What about other artists supporting each other and helping to promote other artists, and then maybe putting on a show together? Have you ever thought about that? Have you talked to some other artists about that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Bigger thing is, man, you got to remember, with the old school model of industry, which has still trickled over into this current digital age, artists are very selfish, man. And I don't know about where in your career field or what you're doing, but in this field, if I could get about 5 or 10 of these R&B singers that I show love to every time, I like their post, I comment, I emoji, whatever. I can't, but do I get reciprocated? No. I'm not saying that because I have a problem with what I said, because it's just some ridiculous stuff, man. My brothers cannot come together, man. At least those rappers will feature another dude. They ain't intimidated. They stay in their lane. They know their skill set and they try to work with it. Hell, they even risk another rapper outshining their verse. But that's the point. It ain't about ego. It's about that paper and that bag. See, for R&B artists, the ego is, you got to remember, rhythm and blues artists, man, get put on pedestals. They have been since the incarnation of rhythm and blues music. So you got to think, if I think this, remember back in the day, they used to be in competition, man, or them R&B singers from Marvin Gaye to Rick James. They was going at it, man. Al Green, all of them cats was going at it with whoever was the hottest dude at the time. So imagine trying to put them egos to the side to do what's best for the business and the culture, man. It's not possible when our natural instinctive DNA, or I would say, in what's been bred in us, is division. We're divided as a people, from things to how we treat our women, to how we raise our kids, to our perception as Black men in the country, specifically men and women to some degree. You got to think all that stuff combined, man. We're taught and trained and conditioned to be divided first. So if we could divide it in our everyday life, why would we not be divided in a business that's going to generate income and attention and fame? It's difficult, man. So I haven't seen that possible, man. Very few. Look at the brothers like TGT, Tank, Genuine, and Tyrese. They got beef. Look at the issues with when Gerald Levert and LSG. Them brothers trying to come together. I see them trying to do it, but it's hard, bro, because they used to having that ego and that shine on their own, and then you trying to come together with a bunch of other guys, and it just turns into a messy situation. The systemic issue is we have to start we got to take the music out the equation. If I can't love my brother just because he's a brother trying to do his thing, how am I going to sing with him?
Good point. Solid points. Saint Jaimz, my special guest, Soul on Soul with Finesse. You know how we do. We keep you soul connected. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Soul on Soul with Finesse, we're on. When we come back, we're going to talk about the music with Saint Jaimz, what he's working on, and I'm going to let him debut that new single he got. So come on back. Soul on Soul with Finesse. You know how we do. Welcome back. Soul on Soul with Finesse. My special guest, Mr. Saint Jaimz, is with us. Great show. He's dropping some knowledge and some thoughts, something to think about. Some of you indie artists need to get together and try to change the game. Don't wait for someone else to change what's happening. You change it because it affects your career. I know myself and my partner, we changed the way we did this radio business. We've been doing internet radio for the last 14 years, and we started on Blog Talk when Blog Talk first started. So we changed before anybody else. We can tell you how this business is. And even COVID made us pivot to where we're doing Soul on Soul with Finesse. And if it wasn't for that, hooking up with artists like Saint Jaimz, we wouldn't have this show. But you got to be progressive, and you got to change and make the time to change and know the business. Don't wait for somebody else to do it. But Saint Jaimz, the reason why we got you on the show, even though you drop knowledge, very knowledgeable, but brother, let's talk about this EP, man. How did this finally come about?
Oh man, it's been in the vault for a while. Some of these songs I've had a few years, man. It's just, and I got a catalog out of this world, man. So many songs I ain't shot enough videos for everything. But so that's my legacy, man. When I'm done with all these songs and the videos, and I'm just going to sit back and just release the records till I'm out, and then I'm going to quietly, ride off in the sunset, baby, because that's just where I'm at right now. But this new EP, man, is called the R&B Remedy. So that my concept is during the COVID, I did catch COVID and almost passed away from it. Was able, thank God. Yeah, man, back last August, in fact, almost over a year ago now. Lost 51 pounds, was in a coma for 5 days. Oh my God, I didn't know what happened. I didn't even realize I had that. I just was at home thinking I had the regular flu. I mean, when you didn't know, you didn't know. But once I got tested, it was crazy. So, rebounding from COVID, I'm still dealing with long haulers issue like night sweats, and I'm just putting it out there, man. This is not a game. A lot of people have not had COVID, so they really they can't relate. That's why you see a lack of respect for this virus. But outside of that, then there was a lot of people that have. Millions of people died, man, probably more than they even admitted, and we're still walking around here acting like we're goofy. So I just, I just try to pray for those kind of people and protect myself and my family. But ultimately, musically, man, this album was birthed unto the fact that people have been crying about R&B. Where's R&B? R&B is dead. You hear all the narratives and the issues out there talking about R&B. And I like it because people are starting to really wake up and realize, hey, we have let this genre dissipate and fall to the wayside. For whatever reason, chasing whatever the heck we've been chasing. So I wanted people to realize that I am steadfast with R&B, not claiming to be the king, not claiming to be the best in the game, not claiming to be anything, just claiming to be a lover of rhythm and blues and an advocate for continuously putting out quality R&B. And that's it. So this record is my first, as an independent, since I dropped my first single, Being Gentle, all original records. Because I want people to understand I'm not just a cover dude. I did that during COVID because it was more nostalgia and giving people some throwback feelings. But my original records are just as good as classic R&B you already heard. That's already old school now. So going to continue to push this project, man, and I got more to come.
All right. So first of all, I didn't know you had COVID, man, brother. I'm glad that you're still with us, and I pray for your recovery and Thanks. Get strong because we need you in this, not only from a musical end, but as an educator of this music because you've been in it for so long.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about the first single, You Should Have Told Me. What is that about?
Oh, that's just about everybody. Everybody can relate to being in a relationship where you're thinking everything's good, but she ain't happy. Or you thinking everything good and he ain't happy. So I wanted to put, that's like I write life songs, not love songs. And when I mean that is that love songs have been currently, minimized as weak, soft, and whatever. So I want to write things about real life issues. And at times love is a part of that. But let's be clear. With love comes the negative. There's all sides to this whole situation. So I want to write about it all. But most importantly, You Should Have Told Me is a real true story in my life as an experience. Most recently, after 11 years with someone, I was always honest. Most men we're known for not being transparent and the most honest of species. So to me, if I break that mode and break that cycle of dishonesty and lack of transparency and honesty with the woman that I am with, and you agree to still be with me, knowing the truth of everything, and you don't tell me that you're not, when you don't tell me when that changes, then, we're done. That's pretty much the deal. But a lot of times people on these relationships, man, and don't communicate honestly and stick around for maybe money, maybe he's taking good care of her, so she won't want to lose her convenience of being kept. So she'll put up with whatever, but lying to herself. And then it comes to that point when things hit her head. She really felt this way. You've been with somebody with, I don't like you anyway. You're like, what? So you should have told me.
All right. So Saint, what we're going to do, I'm going to let you introduce the record and we're going to get into it. Soul on Soul with Finesse.
Okay. Yo, this is Saint Jaimz. Check out one of my singles. You Should Have Told Me off the upcoming EP, the R&B Remedy. You Should Have Told Me.
Soul on Soul with Finesse. Check it out. We'll be right back.
Household name, Saint Jaimz presents Chocolate Songbird in Too Grown for Games.
I've been looking forward to this moment, girl, all week. And ain't nothing gonna stop me from getting you to dance with me. So I hope you're in the mood and you don't put up a fight, 'cause there's nothing you can say. You're going out with me tonight. I just wanna ride with you, lady. Ooh, yeah. Don't stop, I don't wanna stop. Now I just wanna groove with you, baby. Baby, love me like I love you. We too grown for games.
Too Grown for Games.
Calling each other names.
Calling each other names.
Why you so insecure? Acting so immature.
Acting immature, baby, just tell me
I know
why.
you may be tired and don't feel like going out. Once the music gets you moving, I know there will be no doubt. So I need you to get dressed. I don't wanna hear no man, because there's nothing you can say. You're coming with me anyway. I just wanna ride with you,
Let's rock.
lady.
Let's rock.
Oh, yeah. Don't stop, I don't wanna stop. Now
Let's move. Let's
just
groove.
wanna groove with you, baby. Baby, yeah. Love me like I love you.
You
And me can get on this floor and the groove.
just dance.
We'll open the door to something new.
Take a chance.
So don't be angry with me,
No.
'cause I made you move your feet. This is where we should be, baby.
Tell me why you post on IG. I'm waiting for a celebratory toast at 3. Got me feeling for you to be close to me. Wrapped in my arms like you supposed to be. We just won't sit in the house like we retired. Songbird hits, get us inspired. And we'll let the whole world know we inseparable. Our relationship drifting impeccable. Baby,
We too grown for games.
Too grown for games.
Calling each other names.
For calling each other names.
Why you so insecure?
Nah,
Acting so immature.
Sitting around with your lips poked out.
We too grown for games.
Now you know we're too grown for that.
Calling each other names.
Hell, we could have stayed home for that.
Why you so insecure?
Nothing like a grown folks affair.
Acting so immature.
You're so childish when you go there.
Yeah. Can we
Hey, get together and just
this night away? Love me like I love you. Why can't we? Can't we? Just this night away. Love me like I love you.
when you dance to this music, it relieves stress. Too grown for the games, then might I suggest play it again and again and again.
Hot record. As always, we got to keep this brother around. Support, support, support. You know, go listen to it on your favorite streaming platform. And I always tell people go to Tidal, because Tidal pay the music artists more money. And I am not endorsed by Tidal. Tidal does not pay me. I say that because I understand what streaming platforms pay the most and what streaming platforms look out for independent artists. Trust me when I tell you, it's Tidal. I just heard what happened with YouTube. They paid all these record labels money and all this other stuff. But trust me, as an independent artist, you make sure you get your spins and your money from Tidal, because they will take care of you. Anyway,
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you.
Anyway, Saint Jaimz, man, when does the great record, by the way, when does the EP come out?
Well, I'm in the process of putting together all my promotional campaign. Like I got commercials, merchandise stuff. So I'm trying to get all this stuff done. It's a tedious process, man, independently, but getting very close. I'm thinking mid-October, I would like to go ahead and drop this right before Thanksgiving, you know, and then of course I got Christmas songs, and I got the Throwback Volume 2 to put out, and my pops. I got other artists on my label. I'm wearing a bunch of hats, man. So just taking a quick little reprieve from the summer, and then I'm gonna get back to hit it hard probably in the next couple of coming days or so. And I think mid-October the EP will drop with the fourth single, because I got 6 videos for every single. So I'm dropping each single individually, but the EP will be available as well. So it's kind of a double strategy. You can stream both. If you can put each single out as individual singles, and you can put the EP out with all 6 singles, and you can stream them both. That's what a lot of artists don't know about that either. That's game.
That's right. And so you should have told me, is that out on video now? Because that's one thing I didn't look for to see, but is that out now?
Yes. Every single from this EP has a visual. So yes, you should have told me. Came out a few months ago. It's 6.5 million streams. And that's, and then that's already on YouTube. Everything's on YouTube and on my Saint Jaimz channel. So go to YouTube, type in Saint Jaimz, and you'll find my channel, and everything's right there, all the videos.
All right. And quickly, talk about some of the new artists you're working with and what we can look for or expect from them. Okay, well, I just finished a 3-song EP with the former voice contestant Jay Chosen and his new label Jode Entertainment. So we put out a EP called The Chosen One, 3 bangers on there that I produced, my team and I, and look forward to that. It's called What You Came For. The record's doing well in the UK. We kicking butt on the Amazon sales charts and stuff like that. So been making a lot of noise independently from where I'm at, man. So I'm grateful for that. I got my pops. 78 years old, still killing the game. Tony Mosley, another middle-aged R&B singer. See, I love to take regular guys who still have a passion for music and make them put them out some super dope music. Because I can take anybody, man, that got some decent talent and make hits with them, man. And I love seeing these guys. Some of them driving trucks, still got regular jobs, but they still want to do this music, even if no matter how much time they have to devote to it. And that's all I really want to do, man, is work with artists that everybody got it. This is America, man. If you ain't got more than one stream of income, you must be doing something. Tell me what you're doing, because I need to know. Because it's hard. You ain't lying. I heard you on that one. All right, Saint Jaimz, you know you got this artist. You know they got to bring them through for interviews. Send us the music so we can get it on the air and debut it. So you know how we do. Hook up. You know how to get in contact, man. Let's do something with him, all right?
I got you, man. I'm gonna have my boy Jay Ross or my girl Coco hit you up with it, whatever you need, and you pick through it and sift through it and listen, check it out, and let them know how you want to roll. But yeah, I got you, bro. Thank you. All
right, and let me shout out Jay and Coco, 2 individuals that understand the music business and how to talk to folks that can play the music, get the music out there. I appreciate them, and especially them on your team. So keep doing what you do, Saint Jaimz. And who knows, we might put this music conference together and bring you through so you can educate and talk to these people. We'll keep you posted on that, all right?
Okay, my brother. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and God bless you, man. And that's what's up. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
All right. No problem. That's going to do it for this edition of Soul on Soul with Finesse. You know how we do. It's the same soul channel, same soul time next week. Tell a friend to tell a friend, as my man Paley Roos used to say. And you know what? I'm out. Soul on Soul with Finesse and Saint Jaimz. I'm out. Peace.
Hey.
Soul on Soul with Finesse. 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 This has been another Soul Media production.